Hey, welcome back. It is me, your least favorite YouTuber, and I had the misfortune of finding one of the funniest things ever on Twitter, and I ended up falling this like little rabbit hole. So it all sort of like this post, which like this person said, "Oh, everyone, like every name listed here is a Nazi, by the way, right?" And I was like, I'm a little curious, right? I'm a little monkey. I'm like, Curious George, right? So of course I have to check, and I went through the names, and it was a very interesting rabbit hole, I'll say. By opening the thread or the names, whatever, I went through their accounts, and they're like this group of VTubers whose whole thing is that they're based and they just speak their mind, right? And I went through them. I gave their accounts a quick little peruse to see if there was like any water or hole to this claim that they're all Nazis, because of course VTuber Nazis sounds like one of the funniest things ever, and I have to see that. And the first one was this chick called Akemi, and on her account, she herself made like a couple posts like poking fun at the original like tweet, and they're not really that good. And like that was about the context, or as much as you could get for her account. So I moved on to the next person. She was called Shiro, I think, or I don't know how to spell. I'm just gonna say Shiro. On her account, I couldn't really find anything that was like as, I guess, vitriol as the previous one. It was a boring scroll through, sadly, which is it was what I was gonna say until I remembered there was this one comment where she just wrote the word nigga, and I have no proof that they're white. I'm just 100% sure that they're white, going off a hunch, like going off my black senses. I can feel it in my heart of hearts that that's probably a white woman who's just writing the word nigga. So Nazi, maybe. Racist, I'm gonna say 90% sure. I'm gonna like put a bet on that. And there was another person, was Kitsua, who she had the least, I think. Like there was really nothing going on there except for like a comment which was like, oh, I'm just in a controversial group. That doesn't mean I really share opinions with, which I guess like on a level that's true. But we're gonna come back to this. Please put a pin in this for me as we move on to the next person, who I think was called Wendigo. Wait, no, it was Wendigo, something like that, who her account was, it had the least content, but it was also the most depressing. Half her post was just her saying, oh, I got blocked, yada yada, bitching and moaning about it, which, I mean, it's your account, you're allowed to, I guess, post about that, but it's such a depressing scroll through because she also posts so much. She live tweets her existence, essentially, and it was not a fun scroll through. I felt a little sad for her existence after scrolling through that, so I probably spent the least amount of time looking at her account. But the main attraction, the main event, was the final name on that little collab thingy, because this was a VTuber who basically LARPs as a Nazi. She's like, her VTubing avatar is like a Nazi Hatsune Miku sort of thing. It fucking killed me when I first saw it. There was this clip of her. I'm crying a little. Sorry. There was this clip of her that went like semi-viral at some point, which
Very nice. Genghis Khan, yep. It's about China, yeah. Holy crap, these are the Negroes I've seen out here.
I'm laughing now, but you don't understand. I fucking lost my shit when I first saw that clip, because she is stuttering and hesitating so badly. Her heart is not in it. It's like if she's being a Nazi for the fashion. She's not even fully committing to the bit. Which, like, if you scroll through her account, it makes this clip 20 times funnier, because, like, in her text, she is like very confident about how, ooh, she's this big, mean Nazi. Grr, I hate Negroes, you know? But then, like, whenever you see an actual clip of her speaking, she is like the most timid, afraid person ever. she speaks like if she's actively quivering in her boots, and it floors me every time. I just cannot help but just to laugh at it.
Please stop killing games. The main point of it is that it should be mandatory for game companies to allow people to download their games after a certain amount of time.
And like her entire existence is why I like asked, like put a pin on the previous chick and her association, because she at least is very upfront about the fact that she likes to play pretend as a Nazi. I'm just gonna say, because I'm sorry, you do not have the guts, you don't have the heart to be a Nazi. Back in my day, we would be called like Negroes, and we would be called slurs properly with their chest, and now you're gonna call me a slur and cry about it? How can you be racist and weak? You have to choose a struggle. Anyhow, continuing. Her allies, her group, her friends, whatever, they do associate with her, which is an issue for them, which also makes sense. That's why people call them Nazis. Because me personally, yeah, I don't agree with my friends on everything ever. We have disagreements, we share different views, like even political views, social views, all the things. We share different views. That's part of being a human. You can't expect everyone to like the exact same things you like. But at the same time, none of my friends are Nazis, and I think that's a very important thing. None of my friends have ever called me a slur. I wouldn't be fine if any of my friends ever called me a slur. We would have an issue. We would have to fight. And if you are able to associate and be friendly with someone who very, very much at least likes to pretend or likes to show face that this like group is what they're into, then there is an issue with you as well, because you are at least fine with letting that shit slide, which I'm not. And yeah, there is the possibility that maybe behind closed doors, she's actually like the nicest, sweetest, funniest person ever, and she just does like all of this for shit and giggles and for the money. That's still weird. That's still not a good thing. Even if you like to just do all of this for shit and giggles for fun, it's still odd that you like to pretend to be a Nazi online as your form of entertainment. I don't understand that kind of... I don't understand wanting to LARP as someone who's evil, and I don't understand wanting to associate with that kind of group, because there are so many like different, like non-whites, people of color, like just people who aren't you in the world. You're probably gonna encounter a black person today. It's a high likelihood, I'm just saying. So you are just associating and living a lifestyle where you're sort of setting yourself up to get angry every single day, no matter what, and that just sounds so stressful and exhausting to me. Personally, I could never be a Nazi. In the year 2025, I think being this hateful towards other group is a little insane. Because if you've ever had the like mispleasure, I use that word wrong 100%, but if you have ever had to like scroll on the internet, you will definitely run into some hateful shit purely for the sake of being hateful, like under what, no matter what. Like I saw this one comment, it was like a 16-year-old boy who saved like a couple of lives, right? And then you go to the comments, he's black, by the way, I have to say this, people just being racist, right? It's like, why? Like, it's a thing about a good thing happening, right? Someone did a good thing, and your first immediate thought is sitting in your chair and be like, how can I be a hateful ass motherfucker right now? How can I spread some negativity into the world right now? Is that not tiring or exhausting? Can you not ever just look at something and be like, yeah, this was a feel-good moment. I'm gonna close my device and I'm gonna go touch the fucking grass or some shit. I'm gonna go enjoy my day. But no, you have to like get hunched over, type as many slurs as you can think of, and call it a day. Is that how you like make these moments into your feel-good moments, by being like generally evil and like bringing everyone down to your level? Because to me, that's just a little insane. I don't really fuck with that. Shocker again. So I think when it's a time when people just like to spread hate and negativity for no reason whatsoever, if you want to align yourself with a group who spreads hate and negativity for no reason whatsoever, you are part of a problem. There is a problem in the world going on, and you are part of it. Of course, no one's gonna like hold hands, kumbaya, like dance in circles, flower crowns on their heads. But at the same time, if you are making an active choice and an active decision to harm others for no reason whatsoever, I don't think you're a good person. Which is why I don't think anyone in that previous group is a good person. Because I could never align myself with someone who I knew was doing this kind of shit for fun or for whatever. I could never spread that kind of message. I could not. One of the girls in this group, Ketsua, made like a comment about how, oh, the VTubing group is meant to be an open space, we should be accepting, yada yada yap yap. But like, every group and every space should be accepting to a certain point. You feel me? I know you feel me. Because if you're from a group where your entire thing is to spread hate, to harm others, and to marginalize others, I don't think you should be allowed into other like spaces. I feel like you have some problems you should work out. You should probably see a therapist about that kind of shit. But I don't think everyone should just let that shit slide. Like, sure, everyone can have their own opinions. Having your own opinion is fine. That's great. That's wonderful. That's how the world works. But if your opinion involves hurting innocent people because you believe they are lesser purely because of the way they were born, I'm going to be Martin Luther King and just say, that's fucked up. And yeah, that's the entire video. This should be a shorter one. I don't know. I tend to yap for far longer than I actually realize. But thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in 50 years.
I can't see the end of the horizon. Hatsune!